You know, I'm just gonna stop saying I don't think something is possible. I am Darius. This is Sugarless. This is your sugar-free destination of YouTube. Enjoy me. I'm guilt-free. Indulge. Recipe time. You know, previously on an episode of Sugarless Crystals, my thought process when it comes to baking, I didn't see how it was possible to pull off. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I got you, bro. I didn't think it was possible to pull it off. But what I did was I went in the kitchen and I put all my knowledge together and I was like, Darius, make this thing happen. And then plus, one of you guys requested it, so I had to pull it off. I had already been thinking about it. I said I was gonna save it for my next cookbook, but you know what? I'm gonna drop it now. What we have here is a keto pound cake with a cream lemon poppy seed custard going across the top. Creme lemon. You wanna start out by making the custard first, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna set it to the side to let it cool down, to let it finish thickening up. Starting out with 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. We're gonna place them in a small saucepan and we're gonna make it just barely warm. You don't wanna go too hot, just barely warm. Adding in 2 egg yolks and putting powdered erythritol or any type of sweetener that you wanna use. But use powder if you're gonna use something grain-wise. If you have a liquid allulose that you just rather use, that's fine too. You're gonna mix this in and gradually, you're just going to put small amounts of the warm, heavy whipping cream inside of the yolk. What this is gonna do is it's gonna warm the yolk up to prepare to be cooked, because if you just slap it on the heat, it's gonna start to scramble. Once you've added all the heavy whipping cream, you'll add in 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of poppy seeds, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. You're gonna put that back on the heat and you're gonna continue to stir over and over until it starts to thicken. Keeping it on a very, very low heat. It'll start off very, very thin, as you can see, but it'll start to thicken up, and I can't really tell you the right consistency, but you'll notice when you look at it. You'll just be stirring and stirring and you'll be like, okay. A good reference when making a custard is to make sure the back of your spoon is actually coated with the film. And as you can see in the video, that's exactly what we have here. What you want to do now is place that in some kind of a jar, a glass bowl, or something of that nature. You can put it in plastic if you want. It's not that hot. Okay. And cover it with the film. The reason you want to cover it with the film is because these sweeteners, especially if you're using something such as granulated erythritol or monk fruit, when air hits them after they've melted down, they'll form back together and they'll crystallize. This will stop that from happening. So after that's covered, you're gonna move on to your dry mixture, which is 1 3/4 cup of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Excuse me, not powder, baking soda. Next, we have room temperature butter. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cream the butter with the erythritol. Now, typically this helps because when you have sugar, what happens is when you're creaming the butter with the sugar, it starts to break down the crystals in the sugar and it creates little air pockets or whatever. So it smooths the butter out and there's air pockets inside the butter. The air is evenly just distributed. Lord Jesus, I can't get it right for anything. It's evenly distributed throughout the flour. But see, with the erythritol doesn't break down. But we're gonna use it to do it anyway. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit of air in there. That's what the aim of it altogether is. So you'll cream that for a little bit. You don't want to cream it too much because you don't want to break the butter molecules down, but so much. I mean, you still want to still be butter. You don't want it to just turn into oil. At this point, you're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 2 teaspoons of lemon extract, 1/2 teaspoon of stevia. You know, normally I go with about 1 teaspoon of stevia. But see, I want the lemon to stand out here. I don't want to focus on sweetness on this recipe. I want to focus on tartness. If you're someone who's new to keto and you want to make sure it's extra sweet, go ahead and toss in that other 1/2 of stevia and make it a full teaspoon. Combine your dry and your wet ingredients, leaving out your eggs at the moment. Now, after you combine that, you want to toss in your 3 eggs. Don't overmix because the little air that we got, we want to try to keep it. This isn't like typical baking flour. The air will leave out. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish it off by folding it. And in the midst of folding it, we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. At this point, you wanna move fast, so you wanna already have had your pan prepared. I probably should have told you that ahead of time. When the lemon starts to react with the baking soda, you wanna make sure that's in the oven so everything can start to lift and stay where it is. Now, a quick tip, if you guys don't have baking soda, you can swap it out for about, you can still use a half a teaspoon of baking powder, but take out that 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, because the only reason it's there is for acidic for the actual baking soda. You want to place this in the oven at 325 degrees. That is right, 325 degrees. I'm switching it up from my typical 300 that I use. Okay. This is going to be in the oven 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, we're dealing with a long bake here. You can do your standard toothpick test when checking it out. If you baked it correctly and it's risen, you should have that crack right down the center. I've made this several times. Trust me, I know. And what'll happen is it will actually go away. The cake will deflate a little bit and you'll lose your crack. It'll still be there, you'll know it's there, but it won't be as profound as it is when you first pull it out. Now I want you guys to peep this texture. I'm gonna cut this in half for you. Oh, look at that. Now, if you see the inside, the bottom is missing a little bit. Things stick sometimes, it happens. We're gonna grab that creme lemon, okay, custard, and pour it over the top of our cake. Spread it out, and it'll be a nice glaze on the top to help that lemon flavor truly pop with an authentic lemon flavor, not that lemon extract. I really don't like that lemon extract, but so I want you guys to get a close-up of this pound cake. So what you want to focus on is you want the pound cake to have its density. That was the key thing. I was like, can you pull off that density with a proper sponge like that? You want to have that bounce back. It's a nice little density, and then you can cut into it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just that little piece I took off. You can see it's dense, but the moist factor. It's still spongy. It should bounce back. You should definitely say something to it and it bounce back at you. That's what should happen. This is magnificent. Okay. You get a slight lemon flavor, which I don't like that artificial flavor in the cake, but that top creme lemon, it comes across so nice and brings in that authentic lemon juice flavor with a little bit of cream with it. This should be a fairly easy bake. Everything is at your fingertips. There's nothing you gotta order on Amazon to get. Most of these products you should already have at home, especially if you've been doing keto for a while. If you're not new, most of them can be found in your local Walmart or Harris Teeter, and there's few specialty items I'll stick down below in the description box for you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I am Darius, the Sugarless Crystals, your sugar-free destination of YouTube, and I'm not a chef. Nah, I ain't a baker neither. I'm just an entertainer. Bye.